respect on his name. Look, with the honor call for greatness.
Arena presented by Underdog Fantasy. This is our very first show. The checks have already been deposited, so there's no stopping now. We are here. I'm Josiah Johnson. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Gilbert Arenas with us.
What up?
What's up, Gil?
I ordered a smoke machine. So when you did that, the smoke comes and I get to feel like a...
So look, about that, they sent it DHL, you know, not FedEx, not UPS, so it took a little bit longer than expected, but I got you. Hold on.
There we go. We got
all the smoke.
There we go.
Like I mentioned, this is Gil's Arena presented by Underdog Fantasy. So you see this lovely set, Underdog spared no expense. We got the lovely Jumbotron with the, the beautiful logo behind us. This show is gonna be the cure for the common sports show. We got nothing but legends on this show. We talking all things hoops and pop culture. And it's phenomenal, man. I'm happy to be here. How you feeling, Gil?
It's amazing. All last night I was playing with the system.
Okay.
You know, and I see someone from UCLA done changed the color set.
Oh, you already know. We did that behind your back. We went with that blue and gold, that true blue, and that gold. Stay cold. You already know. All right, Gil. So let's get right into it, man. It's our first show. And before we start, look, this is our very first one. So everybody on YouTube, we know you guys are haters by trade. Give us a break. It's like, look, you're going on a date with a girl for the first time. You're not going to take her to Mastro's. You're not going to take her to the baller spot. We're going to start at Sizzler. So this is our Sizzler show.
Our Sizzler.
Great salad bars, great soups. The garlic toast is delicious. The steak sauce, phenomenal. It's still a great meal. But
it ain't Morton's yet.
We ain't at Morton's yet. We only going up from here. But Gil, we're going to start with our very first segment on our very first show. It's called 0 to 100.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to give me a number between 0 and 100 of how confident you are of that.
Okay.
So let's start first and foremost. We had All-Star Weekend this past weekend. I was out there in Utah breathing that, it was terrible Caucasian air. Throat still hurts. They did not prepare me for that. I know you saw like many times my first time out there, the air was just, it needed some seasoning. It wasn't where it needed to be. All-Star game, look, I think the highlight of the weekend was probably Mac McClung in the dunk contest. The game left much to be desired. Even people who played in the game, coaches who coached in the game said it was mid. It was trash. So 0 to 100, what are the chances the NBA makes changes to the All-Star game format?
Just changing period. I'm giving it 100.
Okay.
They're going to change something. It's not going to be for the good. It's not going to be for the good. It's just going to be a change that it's what they do. So they're going to change some things, but it's not going to be for the better. It never is.
So my question for you is then, if you could make the All-Star game more enjoyable, what changes would you make to the All-Star game to make it more enjoyable?
The only thing I change to the All-Star game itself is basically tell everyone around the All-Star game, the coaches, shut the fuck up. Okay? Just shut up. It's an All-Star game. Like it's a festival. It is like supposed to be fun. Like, why do I want my star players? You got to remember, this is not like USA basketball where you get to just pick the players you want. They can be role players to fit. These are the stars of each team. So if my player actually goes out there and gets hurt, he fucks up the rest of that season. Okay. So I do not want my guy going out there playing hard anyway. So I don't give a shit how much money you throw him. No, just leave it how it is. They play, they enjoy, it's festive. Hey, how y'all doing? Throw some popcorn. That's what it is. It's a show. It's not something that goes out there and you're supposed to go 100 miles an hour.
3-time All-Star, right? You played
yes.
It feels like to me, and I'm an old head, you old head too, but back in the day, it just used to mean more. Like those games were more exciting. Yeah, the defense is not going to be what it is. Obviously, you played UCLA pickup games in the summertime. At least somewhat competitive. When I see guys just driving through the lane, wide open dunks, dudes getting out the way, just making a point to not play any defense whatsoever, it's a little bothersome. So how would you compare the game when you were playing to what it looks like now?
Listen, let's just be honest. When Michael Jordan and them played, Michael Jordan was making $5 million, right? They was making pennies back then compared to, what players are making now. So even when I jumped off that trampoline, Eddie Jordan was the coach. He was having a heart attack about that.
Yeah.
Like, what if you came down and twisted your ankle? And, these guys are, the elite of their team. So you really you can't afford for them to get hurt. So them going out there, like, they're going to play, 50% at best, 75 if you're trying to go for that MVP, but going 100 miles an hour, that's not going to happen.
And can you, how hard is it to win that MVP? Do you notice guys are gunning for it? Obviously, Tatum dropped the 55 piece, won it. Is it just like a preordained thing before the game? A guy just like, look, I'm shooting the rock every time I get it, so don't even.
Listen, you have someone, I'm about to try to win it. If you miss your first 3-4 shots, you're like, fuck it, never mind. Right? Let that go. You know what I mean? So it's just, you're just trying to put yourself in, the best situation. So when the game gets a little tough and it starts getting a little harder by the fourth quarter, you're in a position to actually try to get that. As a whole, if you just want to make the game more competitive just naturally, winner takes all. So if you're paying them $100,000 each, right? You put that 2.4 million total?
Yeah.
That everybody. Yeah, put that 2.4 million in the center of the stage, put it on and say, all right, the winning team gets it. But it won't be easy layups then,
But you mentioned before, guys making $40-50 million a year, and they're gonna split 2.4 between 12 of them.
Cool.
Are they tripping on that 200 racks?
Yeah, that's I get $200,000 just to walk around with now, just free money. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go get it.
Yes, but you got to remember, if everyone gets $100,000, I don't give a shit if you put me in a game or not. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's an award.
Yeah.
So you don't have to give no one anything. You got rewarded by being here. This is actually part of your contract. You get to work, you get to redo deals because of All-Star, All-NBA. I don't get paid for All-NBA. That's better than All-Star. So at the end of the day, it's put the money in the middle. Winning team takes all that shit.
So I'm gonna give 2 suggestions to make the All-Star game better.
Okay.
First one, let dudes play in do-rags. I just think something about a dude playing in the do-rag. For me personally.
They go harder.
They go harder.
They go harder.
If you're in the do-rag for some reason, you go harder.
They go harder.
And I think you got the Rising Stars game, do the old head game. Because you got, we've talked about before, you got a bunch of old, bitter dudes, but you put that 2.4 out for them, let them play a game. It could be condensed format, 8-minute quarters, whatever you want to do. Kind of like the big 3, but let them come out there and not really play for that bag. Dudes who wasn't making the money that they're making nowadays.
You really want to see Rick Barry out there motherfucking trying to dribble, man? I want to see that, man.
I'm just trying to see who could play the best hungover.
You're just not gonna get what you're expecting. I know what we're expecting. We're expecting the All-Star game, you know what I mean? The All-Star, not the All-Star game, like the USA game ×2, because it's all the best players. You're not gonna get that type of hard play from these guys in the middle of the season. And some of these guys are trying to make the playoffs. Some of these guys are trying to put themselves in a better position, for that championship. So they're not, this is vacation. This is technically a vacation for them. Getting their body to rest before that second push. So no, you're not. There's nothing you can do with this part of the game, the All-Star game itself. It's like, I'm just out here to have fun. I'm not out here to really,
I'm gonna be real. You said vacation, but if you're making guys go to Salt Lake City for 4 days, that sounds like a punishment.
And that's just one thing too. So come on, why we keep going to these shitty ass cities? Listen, Salt Lake, the Salt Lake part of Utah, the Utah part of Utah, let it go, right? Indiana next year, let it go. Come on, you got in the winter, the coldest cities we're going to. Why?
I'm gonna be real. Indiana centrally located. They got the Steak and Shake. They got the White Castle, walking distance, everything centralized.
But what I'm saying is, go to cities that's built for partying. That's what people are coming for.
That's real.
Vegas, LA, New York, Atlanta, Miami. I wanted to say Chicago, but that's cold.
Hey, Chicago 2020 was probably one of the coldest cities.
Yeah, that's cold. So keep it in cities that's neutral.
Okay, I can support
neutrally
that.
Warm, it's hot. You can stay with the Floridas, the Calis, the Vegas.
You got to have a good strip club in your city.
Facts.
In order to be considered.
Facts.
That's the number one criteria, I feel like.
I'm pretty sure Utah closed at 7.
Yeah, it was. There was people in Utah apologizing, yeah, sorry, it's out here, can't put this extra on your drink, gotta just, we got laws, whatever. But let's talk about probably the highlight of All-Star Weekend, the dunk contest. Mac McClung, and like I said, I think Adam Silver, great job with the script writing this year. You got Mac sign a 2-way deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. Dr. J, who the dunk contest championship trophy was named after. So you got a Sixers guy coming in. They just did it this year. It was a whole big ceremony and situation before the thing happened.
Him?
Who, Dr. J or Mac?
Dr. J.
Yeah.
Does he hold the record for the most dunk contest
I
winners?
mean, I think you go back and look back in the day, like.
Yeah, he owns the most?
No, but like the free throw, he kind of really helped launch this whole dunk contest era. I think him and David Thompson. But that was the ABA, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, they all merged together, and the game is the game. But what are the chances that Mac McClung is on an NBA roster during 2024 All-Star Weekend?
After what we just seen?
Yeah.
100% guaranteed.
Okay.
Guaranteed he will be on a roster next year just so he can enter the dunk contest again so he can defend his title.
And what'd you think about his dunks out there?
I thought, you know what? Despite him being white, let's just throw it out the window.
He's got Negro tendencies, though, so
in high school, if you actually watch him in high school, he was considered the best in-game dunker probably ever.
Yeah.
Right? So if you actually let the fans vote, I'm pretty sure anyone who ever watched him was voting that he was going to win it. But this opened up a door for my theory. I said a few years ago, I know Stephen A's trying to take credit for it, but I said it a few years ago that once the internet opened up, the NBA should have changed its format anyway. You have outside dunkers that we get to watch every single day, professional dunkers, right? That when you watch them and then you watch the dunk contest, you're like, oh, this is shitty. So what happens is you should try to have a format because McCullough is basically that Trojan horse that you did it for. He wasn't really an NBA player. So allow them to have some dunk contest before the dunk contest. Whoever wins, he gets to enter the dunk contest. Now NBA players are threatened by an outside entity, which makes them take dunking serious.
Do you think that'll make him take it more serious or less serious to be like, look, I'm going to run for this fade. I don't dunk like this.
No. What happened is there's two things that's going on. First of all, the NBA dunk contest, it's always been shitty. Like it's never actually been good.
Never?
So, what?
The Zach LaVine years?
Okay,
Nate Robinson back in it? Like
okay,
Spud Webb in 86 or what was it, 84, whenever that was?
84, 88, 87, 80, whenever Dunk and Dr. J, not Dr. J, but Chicago and Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins, those were shitty dunk contests. Let's just be honest, which I'm sorry. They were shitty. They were shitty then. You watch it now, it's shitty, right? It was so much collusion on, who's voting and when. And 3 years, two people did the same fucking dunks, every dunk contest. Like Dominique Wilkins, we already know, up the middle, windmill. On the side, two-hand windmill. On the other side, one-hand windmill. Bounce it, windmill. Like, he getting the 50 for the same fucking dunk every single year, and that's what the dunk contest was all about. Even Vince, the great Vince Carter.
Ooh, no.
3 out of the 5 dunks was windmills. I don't give a shit how you did the windmill. It's still a windmill. Windmill, between the legs windmill. Come off the baseline, windmill. Spin windmill. It's windmills, okay? We get it. Okay, you can fucking windmill.
Not Vince Carter's dunk slander on the first episode, Gil.
But I'm just saying, like, it's never actually been good.
I think Spud Webb, just because he was 5'7".
He's 5'1". Let me throw it and do a little dunk good. Okay, congratulations. I will take your dunk, your dad's dunk at 67 years old.
Okay.
That's impressive. 67 dunking is impressive than having this seasoned 46-inch vertical do a windmill.
That's real.
I did a windmill, right, in the NBA.
That's real.
No one cheered for that shit, so why should I cheer just because you could jump a little higher doing it? No, so those like Zach LaVine and Gordon, those should go down as the best dunk contest ever, period. Creativity, the style, the flair, perfect. Versus you guys highlighting, Dominique do full windmill, Jordan do a little air windmill. All right, behind a double pump, like, come on, it was weak then, it's weak now.
Ever since I saw James White take off from free throw and give you That one, for me, it's all just been downhill. Like,
So,
shout out to Flight White, like
that. But that's what.
And I think that was in college when he was coming out of Cincy, but
he went between the legs from the free throw line.
You know, once I saw that, it was just like, all right, this is. I don't need to see dunk contests anymore. This man has reached the pinnacle of dunking.
And choose, like, if you're gonna keep doing the dunk contest, choose dunk contest dunkers.
Yeah.
There's a difference between dunk contest dunkers and just game dunkers, right? Like Zion, iffy. I'm iffy with him. Like, I know I'm going to get a windmill, I'm going to get 360, I'm going to get the long arm. Do I really want to see that in the dunk contest? He's going to lose. John Morant, what's like, does he have flair?
Yeah.
No, there's some guys that just can jump high as hell in power dunk. That is not dunk contest dunking. You got to have a certain type of flair. Like, what's so funny is with Vince Carter's dunking, some of his in-game dunks look better than his dunk contest dunks.
For sure. All right, so let's talk about, we're going to look ahead. It's Tuesday. The season starts back up again on Thursday. Let's talk about these Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron hurt his hand in the All-Star game, sat out the second half. Seems like, during the weekend he talked about these next 23 games coming up and how they're some of the most important regular season games of his career. He doesn't want to miss the playoffs for 2 straight seasons. So Lakers currently, as we stand, 27-32, 13th in the West. They are 3.5 games out of the 6th seed currently. What are the chances from 0 to 100? 0 to 100, what are the chances the Lakers earn a top 6 seed in the Western Conference?
Top 6? Are we
No
going?
playing
Wait, hold on. Wait. That means 8 through 6, not that 10 through 6 shit, right?
No, I'm saying top 6, so they don't have to do a playing game. 7 through 10 are in the play-in.
0.
0% chance the Lakers finish top 6 in the West with this new revamped squad.
Okay.
AD looking good again.
For a game, got it. It is the NBA, so anything can happen, but 0. It's 0. That means AD has to play all 23 games.
At least a good 19.
He has to play 23 games
At least
straight?
19.
19 don't get you there.
If they can go 17-6.
Ha! Ha! If they go 17-6, I'll buy tickets.
15-8?
Yeah, that looks about right.
Nah, that's still
That's
playing.
still a 10 seed.
Still playing. Damn. All right.
Like even the play-in. I hate the play-in. You can't, why are you rewarding a sorry-ass effort all year long and then give them a chance to say, oh, we can make good these last 2 weeks and get the 10th spot and make a play-in and then beat them? Like, no. Like, stop rewarding failing. That's the problem with sports. You're rewarding failure. You're trying to tell losing teams that, hey, we're going to give you a better chance at being.
But what if those losing teams are impacted by injuries, things like that happen? Tough shit?
Whose fault is that?
Hey.
Get a better medical staff. Like, stop rewarding lose. Like, if I was running the NBA, you're not going to tank and be able to get a chance to get like the top 10 picks.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck that. Like, you're losers. You're losers. Like, you're not going to get a chance to get fucking lottery picks. You can't, like, you're a top 5 losing team after lottery. After lottery. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I've never, or do it like the NFL does. Look, you're the worst team in the league. You get the 1 pick. Like the whole lottery concept is janky.
You're the number 1. You're the worst team in the league. You start off at 14. 14. You 14th pick. Right? It stops you from 14th pick. It stops you from trying to tank and be like, why am I going to reward? What other thing? Let me go to my job. Let me go to a job, and then I'm the worst worker, and then they give me a fucking raise bonus the next year.
Yeah.
Never. Get the fuck out of here. You're not getting shit.
Yeah, the whole concept.
Sorry ass. Come on, you Houston. You gonna be sorry? You sorry this year? You're gonna be sorry next year because you ain't getting shit.
Hey, you the best lawyer. Go work at the fucking worst firm now.
Okay.
Make them high. Like, no, dog, I'm not doing that.
They're trying to make it even. Nah.
All right, last question I got for you. 0 to 100. Chance of someone other than Jokic wins the MVP. Jokic, Joker.
I mean, you got Tatum. He's still in position to pull it out. You got Embiid, who still has a shot for it. So you got two players that's they're still in striking distance of it. So it's going to go down to the
What
wire.
about Giannis? I mean, Another name. He's going to miss a little time with the wrist injury.
Giannis reminds me of like a Rick Ross CD, right? It's good. It's always good. Like it's always good, and it's like do be shitty one year. Right?
He got a lower expectations to bring him back.
Bring it back. Yeah, it's like he's too consistent, and I think that's the problem with how we think. Someone who's too consistent always get penalized, and he's one of those guys. He's been consistent, being dominant for so long. We're like, all right, we just want to see someone else.
I think, but you look at Joker, he's consistent. He gets rewarded with MVPs.
But he was a second-round pick. It's different.
Yeah, and I respect it.
You know what I mean?
We watched the All-Star draft. He wasn't the first option. Him and Lauri Markkanen are literally battling out to the point where Joker got to get up and pick himself and put him on LeBron's team. Mm-hmm. So what is it that the guys in the league aren't seeing that everybody else is?
It's just like when it comes to All-Star, it's like you're picking someone who can really just. This is not, what I mean, you got like hoopers and you got basketball players, right? The All-Star game is hoopers, right? You can just go out there. It's just freedom to do whatever. Jokic is a basketball player, right? So it's kind of like, I know what he can do, but this is not, it's not formatted for you, so I'm gonna pass.
But I understand passing once, twice, 2 times, 3 times. Him and Lauri Markkanen are literally the last 2 dudes on the playground getting picked. You telling me this guy's going to be...
I don't even know who the other guy was.
He a Zona guy. You don't know Markkanen?
I'm just saying for an All-Star.
The finisher.
For All-Sar. And Trae Young is where?
Yeah.
Trae Young is where?
He was at the crib.
You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to figure out how we putting in these players just... Like, take the fucking strings off the puppets and let it all be natural. Like, let something be natural. Stop trying to just have control of these entities. And I think that's the problem with it. We're trying to put too much control. Like, even the dunk contest referees, right? Put a shield, like a fucking cardboard. I don't give a shit if it's cardboard. Put a cardboard between each referee so they can't sit here and say, 10, like, no, stop it. That's collusion.
Yeah.
That's collusion. No. Wall up and let them look at the dunk and then vote themselves. Versus, we're just sitting there, Like, come on, that's unfair. Like, yeah, no, let them think by yourselves, goddammit.
Well, that was our very first segment on Gil's Arena. And now we got our very first guest.
Yep.
Yo, he is LA Hoops royalty, Gatorade Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up,
Listen,
fellas?
we ain't got no smoke. Listen, we ain't got no smoke.
What's up, fellas?
Man said, fuck college, I'm going to get my bag overseas.
Yes,
Definitely get the
sir.
bag.
They weren't
Definitely.
rolling. I think it was because of the color of his skin, not the content of his character. I'll be real. If you're Caucasian and did that, I'd be like, oh, this is a really good move. Like, maybe they should go toughen up. But none other, 10th overall pick, 09 draft. I'm going to keep giving you all your flowers. 9 seasons in the league. We got Brandon Jennings in the building with us.
The dogs is here.
Mr. Early 55. Speed limit, Mr. Speed Limit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you've had some very interesting opinions on the league. You're very outspoken, not afraid to speak your mind. So I'm going to read you an Anthony Edwards quote from All-Star Weekend. Somebody asked him, what was something he didn't like about the league. His response, all the guys sitting, resting, that's the only thing I probably don't like. Just play, man. If you're 80%, you got to play. I don't like all the sitting, missing game stuff. These people might have enough money to come see one game, and that might be the game to come and you sitting out. So when you hear Anthony Edwards say that, should players rest or should they play if they're 80% or better?
Well, I mean, I think first, as a young guy saying that, that's big. Because obviously he loves to hoop. And I do feel like if you are 80%, you should play. You should at least play maybe 10 to 20 minutes, at least. I mean, if I'm a father, so if I'm bringing my son to the game, and he hears that his favorite player isn't playing, it's like, why he's not playing because of what? I mean, can he go? Is he at least over 80%? Like if he's at least 80%, like he at least should be able to play.
When you guys were playing, how was that different? Were you playing hurt?
Yeah, I mean, I was. If I can play, I'm going to play. You got to remember when you're talking about the elite, their 70% is still better than. Like, I remember, all NBA player, his 80% is better than all stars. right? It's still better than an actual all-star player. So when you're saying that he's sitting out because of just rest, and you're sitting here like,
Yeah, like what is
like
it?
okay, he might not have 50 tonight, but he's still gonna give 30. He gonna give 30, 15, and whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's hurting the game because what they're not realizing, and this is why outside entities trying to improve the game are actually hurting the game, right? You're saying that there's too much wear and tear if these guys are resting and doing all this. And like, if you want to like load management, don't fucking practice them. Don't miss a game. Don't practice. Like, if you need rest, don't practice. Fuck it, don't practice. We just play games. Like, I'd rather do that than say we're gonna miss games and practice. Then you go out here, your body's not in condition to do the things that you're trying to do, and you wonder why you're pulling hamstrings and thigh injuries. It's like you're not conditioned like we used to be.
Yeah. And I feel like nobody's really 100%.
No one's
like nobody's ever 100% like
sure.
through a whole season. So it's like, I mean, even if you're feeling good, you healthy, you just feel good. Like you're not like, it's not like, oh, I'm just 100. It's like, okay, after 10 games, like it's back to the,
10 games,
back to the here we go, or whatever. So it's like, yeah.
Get out there and play.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Next topic, obviously biggest news of the trade deadline, KD coming over to the Suns. Good, we've talked a little bit about, you know, they didn't make that trade because they wanted to get smacked by Luka again in Game 7. They're trying to have championship aspirations. CP3 still doesn't have a ring. So, Brandon, I'm going to ask you first. How much pressure is on CP3 to win with KD?
I don't think the pressure's on CP3. I think the pressure's on Devin Booker.
Ooh, okay.
I think the fact that they drafted Devin Booker, and okay, so we got CP3 in the trade. He came over. That's another big brother. Now we're bringing on KD, which is another big brother. So I think the more pressure's on Devin Booker because it's like, all right, now we know what KD's finna bring. KD's gonna do his thing. CP's gonna set the table. We know that. But now it's like, all right, Devin, like it's your time now. I think it's gonna be his time. I think the pressure's on him.
When I look at it from, like, listening to what you said, it's a scapegoat. Everyone gets to be a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Because Devin Booker's, he's young, so he has time, right? You look at it, he has time. He's only like 24, 25, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking about CP, he's on his last legs. So I don't think the pressure's on him from the outside. I think the pressure, if it's coming, is going to be on himself. Because he's like, you know, I only have this year, next year to try to really get this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he's going to get one. KD, he's already has 2. So he's just like, I'm going out there to hoop. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, that's his personality. He just wants to hoop. So I think that, you know, because they are technically in a space where they really don't have the pressure of really winning it, that they're gonna win it because they don't have to worry about losing. And I think when you're in that type of position that we just go out there and just see where we go. Like Golden State last year. No one said they were gonna win a championship when we hit the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that free spirit without no pressure on them gave them the best chance. So.
Yeah, it's just another big brother role. I think everybody goes through it. I think that's what happens with Bron in Miami, going to play with Dwayne Wade, Kobe and Shaq. Like everybody has that big brother, those big brother moments, and you gotta take advantage of them while they're around.
So if the Suns are healthy, and let's say hypothetically that they win the championship, Book balls out, say he gets a Finals MVP, where does that put D-Book kind of in this NBA debate and landscape of current guys in the league?
Well, if he gets Finals MVP?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Well,
we over here like that. Probably won't happen, but
yeah, I mean,
probably won't happen, but
probably won't. But I mean, if he gets that, then yeah, that's another tier.
Okay.
I mean, that's a
he
big
jumps a tier, or do they say, oh, yeah, KD?
No. I'm just gonna be honest. There's a couple people that got Finals MVP that ain't worth Finals MVP. So I don't really consider that to be anything because you give it to the winning guy the winning team and the best player or whoever you're gonna give it to. He's always been good, and that's why I don't like using winning to just level people up. Like they're leveled up because of what they do. Period. You know what I mean? So when you're talking about, you know, top 3 to top 5 shooting guards, that's who he is, right? You're not gonna say, oh, you won a championship this year, you're the #1 shooting guard now. Right. that's not how it works. It's like you give people their credit for what the shit they're doing. You can't start knocking them because, oh, you're playing over here. Oh, you got Chris Paul. Like,
So
can anyone stop his ass? That's how you do it.
So is that why he can't be number one, because he has KD and
that's
CP3? Like if he did win it this year and got Finals MVP,
they're gonna say, oh, you had help. But then when I didn't have help, you said, oh, you have empty stats. They're gonna find a way to knock what you're doing, period.
This is a question I got for both of y'all. What are empty stats? I hear this term thrown around all the time. Those stats are empty. Huh?
Oh, I don't know what the fuck empty stats is.
For me, empty stats, I don't put some empty stats on the stat sheet, and that's all zero. That's empty.
empty stats.
You can't tell me a Westbrook triple-double. You know, like people throw these terms around.
When you hit 55, right?
Yeah.
How are they guarding you?
They were just going under the pick and roll.
Going under, right? Mm-hmm. Right. Did they ever double?
No, they just kept switching or.
Right. So this is why listening to outside entities about basketball, right? It's harder when your team sucks to be dominant because they playing you different. They're gonna go under, they're gonna swish, they're gonna hard show, they're gonna, right? So they get to throw different defenses at you when you have nobody else to pass the ball to. So technically, for me to actually perform 50, 55, you have to go 100%. You have to go one. Every possession actually means something while they're trying to stop you. If your team is good, this guy can't help. You can't help. You can't go under that screen. You can't change up the defense. So when you're talking about a guy, oh, his team was bad, that means he's good because they only got to stop him. You only got to stop him. You don't have to stop three other players. You just, we're going to scheme for him. We're going to scheme for you. Yeah. That's it. We're going to double him. We're going to switch it. We're going to try everything every quarter. We don't have to scheme for nobody else. And people don't realize it's harder. There's no such thing as empty stats.
Okay, that's what I was hoping you would say.
You was?
You feel the same way?
Yes.
No, I mean, I just feel people throw these terms out, and like, I never played in the league, so I can't sit here and be like, a stat's empty or full, whatever it is. Shit's hard to get.
Yeah.
I watched that 55-point game. That shit is hard to do. Yeah. At no point were you bullshitting, whatever. Every possession, you had to go.
And I didn't score in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So I was started off 0-7. So think about my mental early as a youngin'. I'm like, man, I'm off tonight.
Yeah.
I was on me, like I might not get back in, and then just start hitting.
But y'all won that game, right?
Yes.
So if you would have lost that game, though, there would have been people out there, oh, we had 55, but they were empty. That was an empty 55.
Yeah, 55 to lose, that don't mean nothing. Like,
that's an empty 55.
Maybe. I mean, I was a rookie, though, and nobody was doing that.
Yeah.
So it probably still would have just got looked at like, yo, a rookie had 55, but, you know.
I just feel like today.
Because that's what I did.
Yeah.
50. Who the fuck had 55? Because first, we all look at stats, right? We all look. So you trying to I had 42 to 9. Yeah, 55. Who the fuck is Brandon Jennings? Is that the rookie? Fucking rookie had. Oh man, they got rookies going 55. You start doing shit like that, like.
All right, so let's talk about. And you've had some interesting takes on this, just the playing time. Interesting.
No, hold on. Because I remember when we had to play them. I
think like 2 weeks after that.
We had to play him like 2 weeks after that. I'm not guarding that motherfucker, man. God damn.
2 weeks after that.
Yeah, I'm not guarding him. You fucking just had 55. I'm not guarding him. And that's when Nick was making fun of me. Oh, he about to twist your ankle. Your whole knee about to be swollen. Like, I'm not guarding dude, man.
Hey, I respect it. When we talk about player empowerment, KYRIE and KD were both asked about it during All-Star Weekend. I'll just read you their quotes real quick. KYRIE on trades. Why doesn't anyone have the ability to ask for trades? That's my question. When did it become terrible to make great business decisions for yourself and your happiness and peace of mind? And KD said, I don't think it's bad for the league. It's bringing more eyes to the league. More people are more excited. So do you agree with KYRIE saying trade requests aren't bad for the league?
I agree that that situation was great for KYRIE and certain players. I don't think every player should have the ability to ask for a trade request.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've seen it. Bring up a situation like Thomas Bryant, demanding a trade from the Lakers when AD was out, and then he's coming back. Now you want to ask for a trade, and it's like you're not that caliber player yet to I feel like certain players should not be able to ask for certain things until you're proven, and that's just what it is. I don't care how many times you've been to the playoffs or, All-Stars, anything like that, but you gotta be, you gotta win. I think you gotta win. Be more of a winner to ask for a trade or do something
I don't give a fuck what you ask for. I don't got to give you shit.
That's why I'm
like, I ain't got to give you no I got to give you no trade just because you asked for it. Sit your ass down there and play these games. Because, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Right? If they didn't trade KD, what was he going to do? Sit out?
Sit his ass out there for 2 more years.
I don't care. If I trade you, what am I getting back anyway? So, so at the end of the day, you do not have to, grant their trade request. That's one thing. Two, it's if you're allowed to secretly try to trade me, I should be able to try to put myself in a better situation also. Like at this point in time, we're considered both businessmen, right? I'm in the player business where I need to put myself in better situations, winning situations, because at the end of the day, you put so many things on winning in rings. If my legacy wants to be with the greats, forget the road, because the road has been changed, right? Sitting in the same city for all these years. These guys are businessmen now, and they're going to keep trying to adjust their roster. Same should be with the player. Like, you know what I mean? You guys look like you're going in a different direction. Okay, I'm going to go try to win somewhere too. And you can see how petty owners are, right? The owner from the Nets. Well, I'm not going to trade him to the Lakers because that's where he wants to go. So you trade them somewhere else, so you can see that there's still.
But a lot of these don't be good business. Like,
no, they're just doing it for.
Thomas, like, he's asking for demanding a trade, and then you go play for Denver. You're really not playing now. So it's like you had a better chance of staying with the Lakers, like, knowing with AD's history.
Mm-hmm.
You could have just stayed here. But now you demand a trade to Denver. You really not finna play.
No. He didn't make no. He didn't demand a trade to Denver. That becomes the dickhead move.
Well, but that's what happens. You demanded a trade. Okay, well.
All right, hold on.
Well,
I got something for you. Hold on, let me.
So it's like,
what position you play?
So if you Thomas Bryant, it's almost like, like you said, I know AD's injury history. I already done dropped 30 pieces with AD out. Been playing well. I'm gonna raise my value. I'm on a 1-year deal. Yeah, and it's like, all right, I want the trade. Okay, go play behind Joker since you want to.
And that's exactly what they did. Now you're getting 2 minutes when
you're really not playing.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. So they can honor your request, but I'm gonna send your ass somewhere where
That's why I say you got to be a type of caliber player, like for KYRIE, For these guys, certain guys, you can do that.
Mm-hmm. So you cool with KD too? With, I think 3 years left in his deal, saying, "Get me the fuck out of here."
Yeah, I'm proven.
Okay.
KD's KD though. Like, because anywhere KD goes, I become the man anyway. Yeah. So it don't matter.
But as a business owner, do you want a disgruntled employee, right? Yeah. Like if you're at when people think about it, put it in your world, in the restaurant, right? You got a disgruntled cook. Do you really want him making food for the public? No, I don't want that guy out there serving the public and he don't want to be here anymore. Like, no, I'm gonna accept that request. Go about your way. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna have a player who don't want to be here deciding games for me, and this is my business. Like, all right, I'll go ahead and trade you, see what I can get back.
All right, let's keep this thing moving and shaking. Got to talk about another LA Hoops legend.
Hold on. I see you fit, bro. You all fitted up.
Adidas came through with the plug.
And the gills.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
With the dollar sign on them.
You got you a little care package.
The collab. Appreciate you, my crew over at Adidas. You ain't the only one with an Adidas plug. All right, but I did use your name to get it, so God bless you. Appreciate you. Let's talk about another LA Hoops legend, though. Russell Westbrook. Got traded from the Lakers, got the buyout from the Jazz. Coming to the Clippers. Gil, we talked previously. You said that Russ had the ability to make a team a championship caliber team.
No, but I named the teams. So don't try to hold me. I did name the teams.
You didn't throw Clippers in there?
Hell, no one throws Clippers in there. No one throws Clippers.
I think you did not
into nothing. No one throws Clippers into nothing.
But what's your expectations for Russ on the Clippers?
The Clippers. Man, I'm gonna just say good luck, and the resume speaks for itself.
But that's what I'm saying. You look at it and you're like, why the Clippers, bro? Like, it's the Clippers. Like, it's like going to New York. Why? Like, they have no.
Yeah, so it's just like good luck.
Like you feel bad because it's like, why would you put yourself in that situation?
But if you Russ, you get to stay in LA. You don't got to uproot the family again.
Yeah,
they don't have to go nowhere.
They got to come with us.
They don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, so, but listen, like. Let's just really like sit back and think about Russell himself, right? Mm. his resume, when you say his resume speaks for itself, this is his resume. KD won an MVP with Russell. Russell has his own MVP, right? James Harden, MVP was with Russell. Beal's best year, Russell. Paul George, after he averaged 2 triple-doubles in a row, he took off 8 to 9 points off his point average for Paul George to take the lead. Paul George's best year, right? So all these number one options actually thrived with Russell, right? So we're trying to look at the situation that we're in last year and put the blame on him when he went into the situation as a third option, right? We all third option.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, right? Your first 2 options are not actually playing. 50 games, 42 games. 50 games, 42. How the fuck are they supposed to win? Your best 2 options are done. They're not playing. And you're wondering why he can't win because he doesn't have the horses. Then we're like, well, when they play together, they don't look together because they're not here.